New year, so new me trying to post YouTube videos again in 2021. Which brings me to the topic of today's video, which is about coming up with a plan to accomplish your goals in 2021. So I thought it'd be a cool opportunity to walk you all through some of the goals that I set for myself in 2021, but more importantly, how I did it. So in this video, I want to talk about 3 steps that I like to take when I'm setting goals. It's something that helps me get way more organized and clear about what my goals are. So the first one is to make sure that you reflect on your prior goals. And then once you've done that, then we're gonna figure out what are the goals that you actually want to achieve in 2021. And then finally, the third step is we're gonna think about how you can create a plan and then identify what success would look like if you accomplish those goals. So whether that goal be something really awesome like losing 20 pounds and getting into great shape, or something really stupid like I would set for myself, like seeing how many donuts I could eat in 10 minutes, whatever it is, this video hopefully will provide you a little bit of value on how to get there. So with the help of a little bit of my shitty editing skills, we will move to step 1. All right, so the first thing that I recommend in your 2021 goal setting process is to look back and reflect on your previous goals. So maybe you wrote them down in 2020, or maybe you just have to think about some things that you wanted to accomplish. Sit down with yourself and think about the goals that you did accomplish and then the goals that you did not. And this is gonna help because 1, you're gonna get the chance to look back, see what you did accomplish and celebrate those wins, but then also look at the quote unquote losses and decide, okay, well, what happened there? Why didn't I accomplish the goal? And sometimes there's a legitimate reason why, and a lot of times it's just something that you didn't care about. And if that's the case, great. And then you can weed that out and focus on what's actually important when it comes to 2021. Also, pro tip, when you reflect while sitting on the floor crisscross, your productivity output increases by 19.5%. You can fact check me on that. I'll go ahead and walk you through my wins and losses from 2020 to help you paint the picture of what this could look like. Now, one of the losses that I want to talk about is the fact that I tried to be able to run a 5K in under 20 minutes. So when I started this goal, it was around January. My 5K time was about 23.5 minutes, and I immediately got into training, pushed myself as hard as I could, even picked up a book and read a book about how to run a faster 5K, ignored the advice about how much I should rest, pushed myself insanely hard. In 2 months, got my time down to 20 minutes and 20 seconds, and then experienced the worst shin splints of my life, which derailed me from training. And then when that kicked in, I just ended up kind of throwing it all away, and I never broke 20 minutes because I lost all that momentum. And so I learned from that, I gotta take some things a bit slower and just be more consistent over a longer period of time. Now, another example of a loss that pertains to that is that I wanted to read a book a month in 2020. I only ended up reading about 5 or 6 books. As I looked back and reflected, it really wasn't me being super inspired to read books. Instead, I just wanted to learn a bunch of new things. And so it didn't have to come from books. And so I realized that going into 2021, that setting that same goal of reading books isn't the most important thing for me. In fact, I can learn from different avenues. Now, a win that I want to talk about is related to exercise. I set a goal for myself to exercise every single day of 2021. Not insanely strenuous, but at least get some sort of movement and exercise. And I actually missed 2 days early on, but at the point of this video, I've exercised over 365 days in a row, which I think is a huge win. It proved to myself that I can be very consistent at things, that I can focus on what I want to prioritize, and that I can stay healthy despite having a full-time job and other hobbies. And then the other win that I reflected upon was actually related to personal finances and budgeting. I made it a goal for myself to actually own up to my finances and look at my budget every single month, make a budget, track my spending, and stay well within what I make. And that's something that I was able to accomplish, and now I feel very proud and educated about personal finance and feel confident in my financial future. Whoa, he teleported to the kitchen. I'm sure that's what all of you guys are thinking. Anyway, so the next step is to decide this year's goals based on the reflection you did from the prior year. This is a really important exercise in figuring out what's important to you. So after you've gone through the wins and losses and decided if that goal was something you really cared about, you should be able to start to think about what you want to do for this year. A great place to always start is actually revisiting old goals and just focusing on achieving those in the first place before starting to set new goals. Otherwise, if there's some new goals that have really been sticking in your mind, things that you've wanted to accomplish, by all means go for those. But first thing that you need to do is write that down and choose and commit to those goals being the ones that you want to accomplish for 2021. And once again, I'd recommend starting with less goals rather than more, because you can always add more later. I think that's one of the problems with New Year's resolutions, is that people try to set all their goals up front and then they get overwhelmed and then they end up not accomplishing any of them. Just start with a few goals, focus on those, and then you can always go add more. Now I'll walk you through the only 2 goals that I set for myself this year. So after I did my reflection of my 2020 goals, I took a look at one of the goals that I set for myself that I didn't mention earlier as a loss. And that goal was post more to YouTube. Well, there's a time in the year where I tried to post more to YouTube. I started to get a little bit consistent. Sure enough, I fell off. And this year, instead of posting a ton of goals, it has become a top priority to me to post more onto YouTube. I've cared a lot about YouTube. I've learned a ton from YouTube for the last 7 years, mainly relating to fitness. And then I've been trying to post to YouTube for the last 2 or 3 years without much success. And because of that, my goal is to post 42 videos this year with the caveat in parentheses that says, even if they're now, hopefully the videos aren't complete. I'm trying to bring some value, but I realize that I need to get consistent and I need to post a lot in order to get better. Now, the other goal that I set actually will work in unison with my first goal, and that goal is to block off an hour every single Sunday of the year and have 52 goal setting and reflection sessions with myself. This is something that I started in 2020 actually, and I did that for the first several months, and it was actually the most productive I had been in my entire life. But then it hit and I fell off track with that. And I realized that that was the period where I was so productive and feeling great that that's gonna be something really important for me to want to accomplish this year. And the last step is to sit down on the couch, look at the goals that you just wrote for yourself, and then come up with a plan and then think about the desired outcomes that you want from those goals. So meaning, you need to have a plan in place, some sort of schedule, some sort of timing in order to figure out when you're actually going to achieve these goals. And then after that, you need to think about what would success look like. So to help make that more clear, I'll walk you through how I went through this with the 2 goals that I just walked you through. So first of all, I want to talk about the goal that I mentioned about goal setting and reflecting every single Sunday. My plan to make sure that this happens is to use my virtual calendar, and I'm going to block off 1 hour every single Sunday in the calendar to make sure that it happens. This will become a top priority. It'll even come before exercise. I have this big exercise streak going, but I know that I'll still want to hit that. And in order to be able to exercise, I have to do this goal setting and reflection first. If I stay true to that premise, I know that I'll be able to get it done. Now, the desired outcome that I want from doing this goal setting and reflection is what I mentioned earlier about being super productive and just feeling great. And taking that time each Sunday to look back at what I accomplished, feel good and celebrate those wins, but then also look back at what I'm not doing great at and use that as an opportunity to get better. And I truly believe that by using this system, I'll actually accomplish more goals throughout the year than I otherwise would have if I didn't use this system and if I set all my goals at the start of the year. And then next is the 42 YouTube videos. Now this is gonna be very difficult, but I'm super excited to try to accomplish it. And the way that I think I'm gonna be able to make this happen is by using that goal setting system to help plan out, schedule, and set deadlines for my YouTube videos. So for example, this video that I'm recording now, I did my Sunday goal setting session, and I told myself that I had to have the script done by Monday. And then Tuesday, I had to have taken the thumbnail picture and edited the thumbnail. By Wednesday, I wanted to be doing what I'm doing now and filming all of this. And then by Thursday, I wanted to make sure that it's all completely edited to where I could post it. And then I have Friday and Saturday to add extra stuff, bells and whistles, but at minimum, it's ready to post and it can get out there and be done. There's a few desired outcomes that I have from wanting to achieve this YouTube goal. And the first one really is to help other people. It sounds cliche, but I truly do love helping others. YouTube is a chance to share what I've learned with other people. So that will be an amazing desired outcome for me. On top of that, I've wanted to do this for so long that I know that I would regret this if I never did take the chance to post to YouTube a lot. So I'm excited to do that and have these videos as a keepsake for my family, for myself to look back at, laugh at when I try to do crazy stuff like eat 20,000 calories of food. I also want to use this as a chance to learn. Not only am I going to be able to learn about how to post YouTube videos, film production, getting better at editing, everything along the board with that, I also want to use these videos to challenge myself, to do a 7-day challenge where maybe I'm doing meditation or learning a new skill like how to do a backflip. These are just random ideas, and so hopefully YouTube in this fashion will be an awesome way for me to learn and keep challenging myself. All right, now that you've listened to all of that, hopefully you're feeling a little bit inspired or at least have thought of a few ideas. And the most important thing that you can do, and the thing that would make me the happiest, is that right after this video, you sit down and you reflect on some of your previous goals, and then you think about what's super important to you, set those new goals for 2021, and come up with a clear plan and success criteria of how you want to see yourself accomplishing those goals. And I do want to take this time to just say thank you so much for watching. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, these videos are something that are going to be important for me this year. And like I said, I really want to help other people. So if you want to help me accomplish that objective, the best thing that you can do is either share this video with somebody that you think would get some value out of it, give the video a thumbs up because that'll help more people see the video because of the algorithm. And then finally, subscribing to this channel if you want to be part of all of the new videos that I plan to post this year. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a phenomenal day.